Hey, Zach. Did Phil tell you?
Oh, hey. What's up, man? I'm just over here talking to Phil.
Did he tell you
Tell
about
me
the big news?
What's up, Phil? What happened?
You know, his wallet, it's a lot lighter than it used to be. Let
No,
me tell
you don't say.
I say.
What'd you do, Phil?
Well, just pulled out of his shoe probably about $69 billion. And you know who he gave it to?
Who'd he give it to?
Oh, just our favorite game developer and publisher.
Nintendo?
Activision.
Oh.
Gotcha there.
How's it going, Sir Lumber?
Oh, fantastic. We get the cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. I'm not an actor.
No, I'm certainly not.
We're here to talk about.
But Phil behind you.
Phil is quite the actor.
Quite the actor. Look at that face.
He's gonna keep watching over us the rest of this episode.
I would have it no other
hope
way.
That's okay, Phil. All right.
All right. Should put a hat on him or something.
Yeah.
Would have been funny.
I think it was this Monday. So was it Monday or Tuesday?
Ooh. What's today? Thursday? I think it was Tuesday.
One of the first days of the week. Probably
one of the earlier days.
One of the earlier days of the week. Microsoft purchased for $68.7 billion.
Big B billion.
Big B billion. Activision Blizzard. That is a sizable investment in
for some.
A pretty big player in the video game industry.
For an amateur, I think that's a pretty big investment. But
yeah. I think it's the first of all, it's the biggest video game acquisition ever. Period. And it's the largest, according to this, it's the largest cash acquisition period. Like they just bought them with a check for like $68.7 billion.
Yeah. Which is funny that's I guess it's surprising, but then it's not. But I think it's surprising in the sense that it's coming from the gaming industry, right now. Like it's surprising it hasn't come in a different way. But you think about it, that's I don't know. It's a almost inconceivable amount of money. Like so.
Here's some words I'm just going to throw out there for people who understand money better than me. But why this went down like now of all times? Words such as inflation and interest rates. I don't know how any of that works, but supposedly now is a good time for companies to be obtaining capital with their cash that'll be probably worth less in the future.
Right.
Because of inflation or interest rates, low interest rates, all that stuff. I don't know enough to talk about that. But basically, Microsoft thought it was in their best interest to buy a giant player in the video game market, an Activision, who's been going through, countless struggles from their public perception and the way they treat their employees, their games, their slipping quality of, and just releasing Call of Duty, all sorts of stuff.
Right.
What the heck? Oh, sorry. Someone started a voice chat with me on my PlayStation, and it came on my.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, what do you think about this deal overall? What is your immediate gut reaction of when you saw this?
Well, I mean, it was certainly unexpected. I guess Bethesda was a little bit easier to swallow, right? Like that was like okay, it's a big name studio. They've got some iconic IPs, but I can see it making sense. But this is, I mean, I guess the price is just huge. It's tremendous.
Like almost literally 10 times more than Bethesda's was. Bethesda's like 7 something. This is like almost 70.
Yeah, I guess just knee jerk is like, whoa, I can't believe that's happening. I mean, but if you think about it, and you may touch on this, later, but like maybe it's good timing, I guess, for outside of the financial reasons, but maybe for Activision, just maybe it's just a whole rebranding activity that's going to happen.
I think for Activision, as far as like a PR, like people who are in the know and pay attention to this stuff will know that like things aren't going to immediately change at Activision and all these studios because Microsoft has them. But to Activision, as far as like a PR, like front face look, they're like, oh, Microsoft is things are going to change now. We don't have to. We just work for Microsoft. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
And I think to some extent, like Activision still is under investigation by like the state of California for some stuff. To some extent, things will probably improve under Microsoft. I don't see how they could go down. But this doesn't mean that like everyone at Activision is like a happy employee all of a sudden and all those bad things didn't happen.
Definitely not. That's like, I mean, I don't know how many sites they have across the country and
Yeah.
all. It's like that's like an infrastructure thing that it was not going to change.
That's like a workplace environment of like our
Yeah,
country and world. It's not
right,
like a Microsoft or an Activision thing.
right.
But I think I would imagine Microsoft would take steps to improve the situation.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
Um,
if that were not part of the plan, I don't know why they bought them. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure this was in the works before like things really got hot for Activision because you don't just like wake up one day, Bill Gates is like, I want to spend $69 billion.
yeah.
Like, so,
There was
maybe he
some
does. I
there
don't
were some
know.
reports on that I didn't want to bring up because I don't know. You know, people in the know of the deal say a lot of this did take place late last year. Activision was looking to sell, and Microsoft approached them, and then Activision's like, "Well, will Facebook buy us?" And then everyone's like, "No," and then they're like, "Okay, Microsoft can buy us."
Yeah,
Um,
they can do that. They have the money.
you can look that up on your own time. I didn't
Okay.
read all those articles.
Yeah,
But one thing, people, we're just talking about the leadership of Activision and the treatment of all that stuff. Microsoft confirmed that Bobby Kotick will stay the head of Activision. Of course, he will. He's not gonna sell and then just disappear. Also, Microsoft and Activision are going to work independently until the deal's finished in 2023. So it's not like things are going to change leadership wise like that. There's still a lot of paperwork that's got to dotting some T's, crossing some I's, stuff like that, or dotting some I's, crossing some T's.
Either way works.
You know what I mean. So for the next year and a half, Activision will be Activision with the same leadership, I would assume, and then things will start to change in 2023, and we'll see if Bobby Kotick sticks around. I don't think he's going to want to stick around and have a boss. He seems like the kind of like, I'm the boss, not because.
Now he is not.
Phil Spencer said in the tweet about this that he will report to Phil Spencer, like he mentioned that like directly.
Yeah.
Which it seemed like a you're my son now kind of statement. Like
yes, child. Come.
So I wonder how long Kotick will stick around to have a boss. So that all that stuff we'll let the PR people figure out. I want to talk to you about the games. In the situation. Here's a list I got from Den of Geek over properties that Microsoft now technically has ownership. I'm going to read. These are all alphabetical. Some of these are bigger ones. Some of these are smaller ones. But I'm just going to read them out. Blur, Blackthorn, Bubble Witch Saga, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, which was once PlayStation's mascot, which is hilarious. Diablo, DJ Hero, Empire Earth, Farm Hero Saga, Gabriel Knight, Geometry Wars, Guitar Hero, Gun, Hearthstone.
Got a lot that I've not heard of here.
Hexen, Interstate 76, King's Quest, Overwatch, Pitfall, Police Quest, Rock and Roll Racing, Skylanders, Space Quest, Spyro, StarCraft, SWAT, The Lost Village. They own Tony Hawk, the man.
Not the game. Let's get this clear. They own him.
Warcraft and Zork. That's a lot of stuff.
Zork.
I'll be honest. I've heard of. Couldn't tell you. I've heard of a third of these, but the third I have heard of are huge. Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo.
The crossover we all been waiting for.
The Guitar Hero's kind of dead, but they own
Did you
Guitar
say Diablo?
Hero. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure you said that. Yeah.
Overwatch, which will have a sequel coming out at some point. StarCraft, Warcraft, Tony Hawk. I saw one thing people were talking about. They now own they'll have the craft, like the metaverse, like the MCU, all those things. It's like they're gonna have like the craft cinematic universe. It'll be StarCraft, Warcraft, and Minecraft. They're gonna have. They got a lot of stuff here, and the coolest thing about this, in my opinion, is most of these properties were underutilized by Activision because they've been basically every studio that isn't a mobile studio is making Call of Duty, and there's even a Call of Duty mobile game. So like all these things like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the Blizzard stuff was still going on, but that stuff's been even like Blizzard hasn't done crap in like Overwatch 2 has been out announced for years and nothing's happened with that.
Well, and they've been in there. Weren't they like as Blizzard in their own like hot water before?
Yeah, it was Blizzard was hot water, and then Activision Blizzard was in like this big pot of hot water. But basically, what I'm getting is they have so many franchises, and now that they have the backing of Microsoft and all of the not only the manpower but the money. Microsoft, they could put people on different teams and move things around and get some
I feel
more
like they
stuff.
could have done that already. Like, so it's one of the things I was kind of interested in. Like, why were they putting literally all of their studios on Call of Duty in some respect? Like, and it was still coming out in this, or still did come out in the state that it did. I'll reference just Vanguard, like, and based on what I heard about it. I guess Cold War was fine. I'm
They
not the biggest Call of Duty fan, but
they probably did
it,
some math, and Call of Duty made, say, 2/3 of their money. And if they had a
yeah,
bad Call of Duty year, that meant they had a bad year and they had to keep improving. So they just started putting more and more into Call of Duty. Now they're kind of building this tower that they can't support anymore. They're like
yeah,
looking down. All they have is Call of Duty. They don't have any other
right,
games in development. All the Blizzard games that Overwatch and Diablo 4, all these games are like, nothing burgers. Nothing's happened with them.
right,
So,
yeah,
I mean, I think they were caught in a bad place, and they were
yeah.
probably looking for a way out.
Which is, I mean, it's just even more ironic that they they sold for what they did. It's like,
Yeah,
were they worth that much? I mean, the IPs, when you just look at them on paper, yes, probably,
yeah,
maybe. I don't know. It's still a lot of money,
a lot
but
of money.
like, yeah, it's just, it's
But
a crazy
but you know
acquisition.
what? You know
for
what
sure.
Microsoft purchased? Not just these IPs. They purchased control of these
Yeah,
IPs, which means
right.
they can choose to make these IPs. Assuming several years from now, whenever all these contracts are up for these existing games that are being developed for other studios or other
Yeah,
platforms, they could make Call of Duty, an exclusive if they want to. They could make all the Blizzard games exclusive if they wanted to. They have that control. They
right.
can do that. Um, and I think, based on what they've done with the Bethesda and the route they're taking with Bethesda, with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, I would think they'll probably do something similar
Right.
in most circumstances.
Yeah. Otherwise, why buy it, right? Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, it is interesting. I wonder if when that time comes, it'll just be. I wonder if I'm sure it's like staggered, like what contracts exist where for the different IPs. But I wonder if it'll be like everything now in 2024 or
yeah,
whatever. Like everything's exclusive now,
yeah.
or if it'll be like a staged thing.
And is that what they're doing with Bethesda? Like, didn't they? So, Elder Scrolls Online is staying cross-platform. That's an already
Yeah.
existing entity. It's already
Right.
happening.
Right.
But Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a Xbox or a Game Pass exclusive, whatever it
Right.
is.
Microsoft exclusive. Yeah,
Microsoft
because it'll be on
exclusive.
PC, I imagine.
Yeah. But then you got to think like they could do that with Call of Duty. That'd be a pretty big get for them.
Yeah.
Just looking at this, I have pulled up the best-selling games of 2021. Do you know what the top two best-selling games of 2021 were? Across all platforms?
I know Call of Duty is one of them.
Call of Duty and then last year's Call of Duty are the top two selling games of the year.
2021.
Of 2021.
Wow.
Call of Duty Vanguard is the best-selling game. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the second best-selling game.
Yeah.
If you go over
Wow.
on
A year
PlayStation,
after it came out. That's
if
hilarious.
you go over to PlayStation side, their top 20 games, 3 of them are Call of Duty. 1 is Vanguard, 3 is Black Ops Cold War, and 16 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare from 2019. So these games sell very well. Keep in mind this is North America, which it's the biggest market, but it's not the whole market.
Yeah. It's definitely the biggest market for Xbox.
Definitely the biggest market for Xbox. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they just took that away from PlayStation, that'd be a huge blow to like their third-party
Right.
output. Like
Yeah,
I said,
it
their
would.
top 2 best-selling games were Call of Duty this year. Outselling outselling Miles Morales, outselling Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet and Clank. All
That's
those
2020, but yeah.
2020. Well, Ghost of Tsushima remastered, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
But Miles Morales, that's a huge selling game. MLB The Show, huge selling game. All those are below 2 different Call of Duty games.
Yep.
Which is just, Xbox can do a lot with that. I don't know exactly what their plans are. If they follow a similar path to Bethesda, they'll probably be, exclusives.
Right.
Day one Game Pass, you won't have to buy Call of Duty anymore. You can just play the
Thank
Call of Duty
goodness.
on. I mean, think about it. Like, I spend $70 a year on Call of Duty to play multiplayer with my friends for a month. Now I can just have it on my Xbox.
Right.
Without spending the money, which is insane.
Yep.
And also, I don't know how this works, but like the back catalog of games, like older games, like are we going to start to see older Call of Duty show up on Game Pass or older,
We could, yeah.
stuff
I don't
like?
think there's anything like legally stopping them from doing that. It's just like, is that even worth the time? Maybe, maybe not. Depending on the game, but
Hey,
yeah,
like
they could.
think of that could open up a whole new like online environment. Think of like there's nothing stopping, you know, all these players to go back and play this Call of Duty from 4 years ago right now. But what
Right.
if they were all on a list and everyone could just download their favorite Call of Duty whenever and just start
Yeah.
playing online whenever?
It's true. Yeah.
There's nothing. It would be so easy to do, like so easy for the consumer to just like pick their Call of Duty and just play it.
Yeah.
That I wonder
can
if
see that definitely happening.
if that
yeah.
would diversify like like the gameplay. I mean, there's still
Yeah.
Warzone, which I think Warzone is more popular than base multiplayer Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that could happen from this.
Yeah, for sure. And I have all the consoles, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
to me where I play things really.
it's true.
So.
I have a funny note here. Something they could do with this new acquisition. They own Warcraft, which means they own World of Warcraft, and
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is also in a tough spot. Not only because the game itself, like the developers and the fans are getting into it and not seeing eye to eye, but also like the quality's dipping and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Blizzard has been in hot water, and then also Final Fantasy 14's been skyrocketing.
Yeah.
What if they made a console version of World of Warcraft, or even like this is a PC version of World of Warcraft, and included a World of Warcraft sub with Game Pass?
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that happening. Anything to bring people in, and that's obviously like a huge player base that's been, I guess, really disappointed, right? If not from, the stuff going on in the work environment with the employees and stuff, but also just the game itself. I know that people are, especially that what was it, like a remake of the original World of Warcraft recently? It was like Classic or
World of
something
Warcraft
like
Classic,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I know people weren't like thrilled with that. So yeah, if there's some way they could, redeem themselves and bring people in to be like, hey, come back and look, it's free with this subscription.
Yeah, look,
So,
it's free. Look at all this
yeah.
other stuff that's free.
Yeah,
Look at this other
right.
stuff you can start playing and investing
While
your
you're
time
here.
with. While you're here, exactly.
Check out some of this.
I mean, they're already putting Game Pass coupons on Pop-Tart boxes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like at this
Yeah,
point,
you can go buy some Pop Tarts.
yeah. I mean,
Always get that deal.
yeah, he's got a big old stack of Pop-Tarts in here.
Yeah.
My buddy Phil
just for the
gave
Game
me.
Pass subscriptions. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a pretty crazy deal. I don't know what could possibly top this as far as an acquisition. Like Call of Duty, like I mentioned, it's literally the best-selling game every single year.
Yeah.
And they just
I
bought
wouldn't
it.
have estimated this much. Like it would have gone for this much if you had told me, hey, guess what? In a week from now, Xbox is going to buy Activision. How much do you think it's going to sell for? I don't even know what I would throw out there. It wouldn't have been $70 billion.
Yeah, it doesn't
no
make any,
way.
it doesn't make
I
any
would have
sense.
had to look at like the Bethesda acquisition and then like inflate it a bit, but like
Yeah.
not this much. So yeah, I don't know like what could possibly top it in the future. I mean, there are big studios out there like Square Enix, Ubisoft, like there are big publisher developers out there, but yeah, this one I don't know if it can be topped.
How do you feel, assuming, let's go with the assumption that Microsoft capitalizes on this huge purchase and makes these games exclusives going forward, because why would they have bought them if they weren't going to do that? Let's go with that assumption. Is this eventually going to be a bad thing for the industry if it keeps consolidating to...
I think so.
Like, if it keeps going from all these third parties, keep going to one big blob?
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's not. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's always good to have diversity and like competition in that sense. I don't think it should just be like the big two really, like Sony acquiring as much as they can and then Microsoft's acquiring as much as they can. I feel like it, and then everything's got to be exclusive. I don't know. It can be a good thing in some ways, certainly a good thing with the companies, but like I don't know if it's the best direction. But there may not be a way to avoid it now that this has started, just over the past, year. I mean, when was the Bethesda acquisition? Was it early last year or something?
it was
like
last year
that?
at some point. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it was,
so
it was
it's
less
just-
than a year ago. It
Yeah,
was
so
not.
it's
It was January 2021 or
Yeah.
later. I don't know.
So it's happening pretty quickly, is what
Yeah.
I'm getting at. So, and these are two big ones. So, yeah,
Here-
I don't know.
This one's interesting to me because, like you said, I don't think the end game of like everyone buying everybody is probably bad.
Yeah,
It's anti-consumer. Especially
Yeah.
if it keeps going from if it keeps sectional, becoming sections, like you can only play this here, play this here, play this here.
Right.
It's becoming less, more anti-consumer. They can't buy all their games they want on their own platforms.
Right, they get to choose what they want, and have their own experience on their own thing. Yeah, it's now like I have to own everything just so I can play games I like. Yeah.
But this specific acquisition, I think, is not all that bad, specifically because Activision, not only from like the company itself, but like the quality and output of their games is going down. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Do you think they would ever make another Spyro game ever? Like, why would they?
No, what's in it for them?
Yeah, they made a Crash Bandicoot game recently, but I mean, I don't know.
That was Toys for Bob, right?
Toys for Bob, which is now working on Call of Duty.
Yeah, and they owned Toys for Bob when they put that out.
I
thought there was some kind of. Okay, well, either way, yeah, there's nothing in it for them based on how you described their like shifting of their workforce.
Yeah.
And that's pretty sad because that's, it's completely business minded. It's not consumer. It's only dollars and cents at that point. So
I think if there is a silver lining, it's that for Game Pass to continue to succeed, they need variety and they need output.
Yeah.
So I think it's in Microsoft's best interest to make lots of games with lots of studios, but a different variety of games. They don't need to make 6 Call of Duties in a year, but if they make a Spyro, a Crash, a Call of Duty, a Tony Hawk, and all those get a Game Pass, that's going to bring in people from all different directions, and it's going to keep building what they want. So I think this particular deal, just seeing how Activision was trending, I think could work out for the benefit of...
if you're asking about this, just specifically, then I agree. It's a positive thing, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're on PlayStation, then you have to figure out what they're gonna. You don't know what's gonna happen yet, but we'll. I'm gonna go with the assumption that most of these games will be Xbox exclusives.
Yeah, and I'm still like a PlayStation fan at heart. Like first, it's just kind of how it happened growing up. But this with Activision specifically, I am not really impacted that much. I've been most attached to Sony's first party IPs anyways, so those aren't going anywhere. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
At this rate, so PlayStation's been like my third-party machine. Then I play like Xbox for Game Pass and my Switch for Nintendo exclusives. At some point, it's going to be like Nintendo exclusives, PlayStation exclusives, and then just like my third-party box that has like
basically
all these other
third-party
things
and Xbox
on
box,
Game Pass that I don't really pay for, but I do kind of pay for. And somehow everyone's making money. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, someone is losing monne.
Someone somewhere, by the laws of money, is losing money somewhere.
They're just looking around. Hey, where's mine?
It's just a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
you tell 2 people to get Game Pass, and then you get a month of Game Pass, and then they tell 2 people, and then they tell 2 people. And
it all comes to Bill.
It all comes to Bill.
Bill Gates gets it all.
Yes. Bill and Phil. Phil and Bill.
Bill and Phil. Oh.
Wow.
Perfect.
Wow. Great stuff.
Wow. Just groundbreaking discoveries here today.
It's just so great. I think that's about all I have to say on this topic of what I'll call the more rational version of this conversation. There are some tinfoil hat conversations we could get on. What
do you have one? Do you have a tinfoil hat?
Yeah, I don't want to get too into it. A tinfoil hat.
No, I want to know if you actually have a hat.
I will most certainly acquire or fashion one when needed.
Okay, very good. Okay.
But there's some recent things that came out, some interviews and some tweets that I could get in some crazy some rabbit holes with this. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to keep
Give the crowd a taste. Go ahead.
Basically, all I'm saying, just a taste. Game Pass is going to be on PlayStation by the end of 2023. That's my bold statement.
And I'm not in line with that tthinking.
Yeah.
But
that's a topic for another day.
A debate for another day.
Yeah. A debate. I apologize. Cool. Well, thank you, Sir Lumber, for showing up, and thank you, Phil, for being such a kind attendee of this conversation.
Yeah, he's like the master ceremonies back there.
Yeah, sitting here like this.
Not to present to us.
Yes, thank you, Phil. It means a lot. Yeah, I guess we'll thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.